I were on Dennis Rainey's radio program a few years ago, and he has a program on marriage, a radio program, very good ministry. And we were being interviewed by him, and so he asked me some questions, and he turned to Karen and started interviewing her. And he went back because he was referring to Marriage on the Rock, the book, and he said, well, Karen, Jimmy was really a jerk when y'all first got married. They were talking about me like I wasn't there. You know, like, well, whatever, Jack. But, so, Jimmy was a real jerk when y'all first got married. Karen, yeah, he really was. She was a little too animated, you know, but yeah, he really was. And so he asked her this question. He said, were you ever tempted to have an affair back in those days? And I thought, well, I want to know. And she said this to him, I wouldn't let my heart go there. And she meant it. See, forsaking means I've taken up an offense against you, or I have heard a seductive voice offer me something better than you, and I turned. On the inside, I turned. See, God says he'll never do that. The Bible tells us that Satan accuses us before God's throne day and night. That's what the book of Revelation says. Day and night, that means right now, he's in front of God's throne accusing us to God. Can I tell you something about your God? He'll never take up the offense. No matter what the devil could ever say about you, God will never take up your offense or his offense. He'll always love you. But can I say this? The devil will come for the rest of your married life and accuse your spouse to you. Whatever he has to say. I could find reason today to turn my heart away from Karen, and she could find reason today to turn her heart away from me. I mean, the reasons are not hard to find. But that's not covenant. Covenant says, regardless of what reason I could find, I will never desert you, and I will never turn my heart away from you. When we say our vows getting married, here's what the vows sound like, something like this. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. Those are covenant vows. The devil comes to us in worse and sicker and poorer. And in those circumstances, he begins to advertise others and offend us toward our spouse. And that's when we're most vulnerable to turning our heart away. And it's in those times that we have to make the covenant decision, I will never. And let me say something to some of you who may be younger. The best times in marriage come after you've gone through some of those poor and sicker and worse times. And you stayed together and you worked on your marriage and you come out the other side stronger, better, closer, more in love. And there's no trust on earth like the trust you have for a person who had the reason to leave but didn't. Who had a reason to turn their heart away but didn't. There's a psychiatrist, Dr. Gail Saltz, and here are some of her key points to recognizing an emotional affair. When most meetings and conversations are kept secret from your partner. When you say and do things with someone you would never do in front of your spouse. When you make a point to arrange private talk time with them. And when you share things with them that you don't with your partner. And this is called windows and walls. There's just an appropriateness to any relationship that you have outside of your marriage with a person of the opposite sex. And windows means I'm having a conversation with my assistant. I'm having a conversation with a woman at church or a woman at work or something like that. And we have a closeness to our relationship, either a physical proximity of working together or we have a friendship that we've developed. And all of a sudden I find myself wanting to say something to her about the state of my marriage or my feelings or something that I know I shouldn't say. Well, when I say it, I'm opening a window that is not a normal window. This is intimate conversation. At exactly the same time I do that, because I'm not going to tell my spouse, I built a wall with my spouse. The more I share here, the bigger the window gets. The more I share here, the bigger the wall here gets. And so she says in an emotional affair, that precedes it. It always precedes it in an emotional affair. And then she asked these questions to qualify whether we're having an emotional affair. Do you avoid telling your partner how much time you spend or talk with the other person? Do you tell this person more about your day than your partner? Do you even tell him or her about your marital dissatisfaction, which is a huge warning sign? Do you ready your appearance to see them? Is there a sexual attraction, spoken or unspoken, between you? Because that's going to happen. It's going to happen with people close up, and it's going to happen far away. And this is the reason that you have to build the right boundaries in your relationship. Here's one other question. Would you feel guilty if your partner saw you together? Would you be talking if your partner was here like you are without them being there? Would you be showing affection in the same way? And if you're not, it's inappropriate. And she says, to get out of the emotional affair, stop flirting. Listen, if you're a flirt, it's inappropriate. You shouldn't flirt with people. It's just wrong. Stay out of high-risk places, she says. You know what, and we know what those are. When you're alone, when you're having private time with that individual, wherever that is, break off the relationship totally, she says. And it's interesting, her suggestion is turn your heart back.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting insights.